Well done, good stuff. Next tonight, the government calls it the spare room subsidy, but tonight in Chesterfield, protesters are gathering in opposition to what they call the bedroom tax.
Changes to housing benefit aimed at reducing unoccupied rooms have been controversial, to say the least. And Joe Inwood is with the protesters now, who are calling for them to be reversed. Joe.
Yes, and welcome to what they're calling Chesterfield's tent town, a collection of protesters and trade unionists opposed to, as you say, what they call the government's bedroom tax. That's the changing to housing subsidy, housing benefits that came in earlier in the year that mean if you don't fulfil the government's criteria for using all the bedrooms in your house, then you will have some of your housing benefit taken away. Now, the tents, they represent the fact that these protesters say that many people will be left homeless by these changes. And indeed, they have been controversial, with both sides trying to claim the moral high ground. But is it a spare room subsidy or the bedroom tax? Well, the government say 1 million unused bedrooms were being paid for by housing benefit, and that's something that has a cost too, with 1.8 million people unable to get social housing. Finally, they say that the changes will save the government £500 million a year. But the opposition say those savings for the Treasury will come from the pockets of 660,000 ordinary families, who will pay on average £728 a year. That 1 in 3 of those families have children, and that there is a shortage of smaller houses for them to move into. But of course, this isn't just about politics and statistics, it's about the real people affected by it. And one of those people is here with me now, it's Chris Wrigley. Chris, tell me, how have these changes affected you?
Well, I'm a disabled person. I have severe mental health problems. I have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which makes breathing and walking very difficult for me. And I've just had an abnormal liver function as well, which is probably a precursor to cancer. Now, my situation is that a house I've lived in for 11 years, suddenly I've become the villain of the piece, and I'm having to pay an £136 per month bounty to be able to live in that same house.
No, but the government say that there are millions of people who would like to live in a family home, and you've got 2 bedrooms spare. What do you say to those families that would like a big family home, but you're in there on your own?
I would say that the government would like us to think that it is divisive like this. What they're trying to do is they're trying to wedge communities apart. I've lived in this home for 11 years. I've spent considerable amount of money on this home when I actually work for a living. I've not always been disabled.
Chris Wrigley, thank you very much indeed. Now, of course, we did ask the government to come on. Unfortunately, they would only give us a statement. They say it's simply not affordable to pay housing benefit for people who have spare rooms. The reform will save hard-working taxpayers almost £1 billion over the next 2 years. Of course, that argument won't wash with these protesters, who say that they will be here until at least tomorrow, making their point.
Joe Inwood in Chesterfield for us tonight. Thank you very much.
A man who's been